There were a select number of Spartan-III operators given Mjolnir power armor and specialized roles during the Covenant War, and one of the most enigmatic is Kevin-A282. A member of the prolific Spartan-III Alpha Company, Kevin is one of only a few Alphas to survive the war, alongside June A266 and possibly Rosenda A344. He was perhaps a lone wolf of sorts, though we really know very little about his service record. It's mentioned that he saw action on Colo, Meridian, and Sigma Octanus IV. Quite a record, especially considering the former two worlds were glassed. Prior to the fall of Reach, Kevin took part in a mission that was speculated by the crew of the UNSC Dark Was the Night to have been compromised by bad intel, and which was quite possibly the cause of his recent facial scarring and substantial exterior damage on his Mjolnir armor. In the short story Breaking Strain, which is currently the only piece of lore with information on Kevin-A282, it's stated that several Oni officers ended up with broken bones following this mysterious assignment, and from this, I infer that they might just have been caused by the Spartan. I say this because they, whoever they were, apparently received their injuries after this failed mission, and around the same time, Kevin received a suspension from active service and was then supposed to be transferred to Earth. One of the ships which was ferrying him to his destination was the military cargo tender UNSC Dark Was the Night, but their journey didn't go as planned. Unfortunately, the vessel was attacked by the Covenant and sustained crippling damage. It was able to enter slip space, but only by the skin of its teeth. It continued to suffer catastrophic harm and the loss of its AI. At some point during the attack, an airlock was blown out and would have taken with it the vessel's future captain, Darren Leone, were it not for Kevin-A282, who rescued him from being ejected into the void. The vessel, despite losing its original captain and much of its upper chain of command, was able to make an emergency landing on the backwater fishing colony Losing Hand, where it remained for months after the end of the Covenant War, waiting to be found. About a month after the crash, Kevin simply up and left their encampment in the colony and kept watch from peninsulas off the mainland. He refused to communicate with the remaining crew members until the detection of an approaching Covenant vessel caused Captain Leone to personally go in search of the Spartan. When they met, Kevin initially refused the captain's orders to return, believing that his presence would only create more problems between the already hostile locals and the crew of Dark Was the Night. However, when the threat of an impending arrival by the Covenant ship caused a confrontation between the leader of the fishermen and the captain, it was revealed that Kevin changed his mind and ran the distance back to the colony. When the leader of the fishermen, Ryan Larson, attacked the captain with the butt of a shotgun, the Spartan destroyed the weapon with a shot from his sniper rifle, and with his presence effectively put an end to further violence between the two groups. When the ex-Covenant vessel, a corvette named the Lookout, touched down on a landing strip, 3 individuals stepped out: a Sangheili, a human, and a Huragok. After introducing themselves, they explained that their ship was searching for colonies severed from contact by the war. They offered to take anyone who would go with them, and Kevin-A282 accepted along with many others, citing a desire to feel useful again. This was in 2553, and we haven't heard from Spartan-A282 since then. So, maybe you're wondering, just what was that Oni mission that was rumored to have gone so terribly wrong for Spartan-A282? We may never know for sure, as it's stated that all of the Oni officers aboard the UNSC Dark Was the Night who had intel on the mission had died when the ship was attacked. Nevertheless, I have a hypothesis. The most recent campaign that Kevin was said to have been a part of was Sigma Octanus IV. What happened there? Well, the Covenant invaded the surface as a diversion so they could secure a Forerunner artifact in a city called Côte d'Azur. 12 Spartan IIs were delivered to the surface to engage the Covenant and turn the tide of battle for the besieged UNSC ground forces. They eventually made their way to the city, where they were able to rescue civilians and recover the Forerunner artifact. So what of it? We have hearsay that the mystery op went awry because of an issue with the provided intelligence. Could it be that Kevin was sent to retrieve the Forerunner artifact as well, but on his own or in a very small team? If indeed he was, could he have failed to reach the artifact's location because of heavy resistance? Or maybe because he realized there were Spartan IIs operating in the area, and he was ordered not to make contact? It's all speculation, of course, but when the Spartan IIs left Côte d'Azur, they detonated a Havoc-class tactical nuke. If Kevin was around for that, then his armor certainly could have sustained some damage. And his facial scars? I'm really not sure. Just grasping at straws here. There were also other cities on Sigma Octanus IV that were invaded and destroyed, and they also held Forerunner relics, perhaps. So, perhaps Spartan-A282 was involved in an op gone wrong in one of those? Maybe time will tell, or not. Before we end the video, I'd like to talk about Kevin's armor briefly. It's stated to be a dark blue Mjolnir Mark V with stripes of crimson and black. His helmet, like the helmets of most Spartans, had a golden visor, and it was reported as being narrow-eyed and predatory, reminiscent of a hawk. There are 3 candidates that come to mind that fit this description, and that are also known to have been compatible with Mark V Gen 1: Recon, Scout, and EOD. Considering Kevin's involvement with Oni, his use of a sniper rifle, and the development of Recon and Scout armors by Oni, I personally don't think it was EOD, but more likely one of the former. I like to think it was Recon. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button. If you have any personal theories about what exactly the mystery assignment that Kevin had been involved in was, or if there's a piece of lore that you'd like me to cover next, let me know down in the comments. As always, until next time.